Narshimva's transmission.
It is my conviction that all sentient beings are immortal spiritual beings. This includes human beings. For the sake of accuracy and simplicity, I will use a made-up word, Aasb, because the primary nature of an immortal being is that they live in a timeless state of is, and the only reason for their existence is that they decide to be. No matter how lowly their station in a society, every Aasb deserves the respect and treatment that I myself would like to receive from others. Each person on earth continues to be an Aasb whether they are aware of the fact or not. Before you can understand the subject of history, you must first understand the subject of time. Time is simply an arbitrary measurement of the motion of objects through space. Space is not linear. Space is determined by the point of view of an Aasb when viewing an object. The distance between an Aasb and the object being viewed is called space. Objects, or energy masses, in space do not necessarily move in a linear fashion. In this universe, objects tend to move randomly, or in a curving or cyclical pattern, or as determined by agreed-upon rules. History is not only a linear record of events, as many authors of Earth history books imply, because it is not a string that can be stretched out and marked like a measuring tool. History is a subjective observation of the movement of objects through space, recorded from the point of view of a survivor rather than of those who succumbed. Events occur interactively and concurrently, just as the biological body has a heart that pumps blood, while the lungs provide oxygen to the cells, which reproduce, using energy from the sun and chemicals from plants, at the same time as the liver strains toxic wastes from the blood and eliminates them through the bladder and the bowels. All of these interactions are concurrent and simultaneous. Although time runs consecutively, events do not happen in an independent, linear stream. In order to view and understand the history or reality of the past, one must view all events as part of an interactive whole. Time can also be sensed as a vibration which is uniform throughout the entire physical universe.
Iroh explained that Aasbs have been around since before the beginning of the universe. The reason they are called immortal is because a spirit is not born and cannot die, but exists in a personally postulated perception of is and will be. She was careful to explain that every spirit is not the same. Each is completely unique in identity, power, awareness, and ability. The difference between an Aasb like Iroh and most of the Aasbs inhabiting bodies on Earth is that Iroh can enter and depart from her Dal at will. She can perceive at selective depths through matter. Iroh and other officers of the domain can communicate telepathically. Since an Aasb is not a physical universe entity, it has no location in space or time. An Aasb is literally immaterial. They can span great distances of space instantly. They can experience sensations more intensely than a biological body without their use of physical sensory mechanisms. An Aasb can exclude pain from their perception. Iroh can also remember her identity, so to speak, all the way back into the dim mists of time, 4 trillions of years. She says that the existing collection of suns in this immediate vicinity of the universe have been burning for the last 200 trillion years. The age of the physical universe is nearly infinitely old, but probably at least 4 quadrillion years, since its earliest beginnings.
Time is a difficult factor to measure, as it depends on the subjective memory of Aasb, and there has been no uniform record of events throughout the physical universe since it began. As on Earth, there are many different time measurement systems, defined by various cultures, which use cycles of motion and points of origin to establish age and duration. The physical universe itself is formed from the convergence and amalgamation of many other individual universes, each one of which were created by an Aasb, or group of Aasbs. The collision of these illusory universes commingled and coalesced, and were solidified to form a mutually created universe. Because it is agreed that energy and forms can be created, but not destroyed, this creative process has continued to form an ever-expanding universe of nearly infinite physical proportions. Before the formation of the physical universe, there was a vast period during which universes were not solid, but wholly illusionary. You might say that the universe was a universe of magical illusions which were made to appear and vanish at the will of the magician. In every case, the magician was one or more Aasb. Many Aasbs on Earth can still recall vague images from that period, tales of magic,